Today on UI7 Newsbreak.
To start off, we will take a look at how we have experienced our first snowfall in Champaign.
Then we will take a look at ways that you better prepare your car and home for this upcoming winter season.
Plus, we will get a close look at some ways for you to keep your pets warm and safe with the cold temperatures now arriving.
Your UI7 Newsbreak starts now. Hello, I'm Taylor Mattingly.
And I'm Jacob Diaz.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of UI7 Newsbreak. We have experienced our first substantial snowfall here in Urbana.
Many citizens are starting to remove the ice and snow off their cars and driveways.
We have experienced our first snowfall here in Champaign, Urbana. Snow piled in from last night all the way through the morning. Snow plows and backhoes work together to clear up the snow-filled streets for the public.
We didn't get much of an autumn. We got about 2 weeks of it, and now we're straight into winter. But I love the snow, so.
According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, this 2019 winter weather forecast is predicted to be warm and wet.
I think it'll be more than last year. I'm kind of a weather nerd, and just based on it wanting to be more cold and wet, especially around the Great Lakes. They're saying it's going to be colder this year.
Many of the streets are still congested with snow, so be careful and cautious as you're on the road. In Champaign, I'm John Nudera, UI7 Newsbreak.
In recent years, Illinois has experienced both warmer and colder winters where the temperatures fluctuate a lot. With winter weather starting up, a lot of people will be preparing their homes and their cars for snow and lower temperatures.
Jonathan Sanchez is a resident of Champaign who has began to gather supplies so that his home is prepared for the winter season. His winter preparations have included putting down salt for his porch, getting winter tires for his car, as well as making sure his car is stocked with supplies.
I've definitely had a few instances in the past where I haven't laid down salt and I've slipped on the ice. So I definitely don't want that happening again, and so by laying down salt, it definitely eliminates those unnecessary accidents from happening.
Sanchez has stocked up on many items such as salt, snow shovels, and windshield wiper fluid, although it is good to have certain supplies in your car for emergency situations.
As winter approaches, it's good to have supplies ready for when you need them. For your car, it's good to at least have some water bottles, blankets, as well as non-perishable foods in case if your car ever gets stuck in a winter storm with very dangerously low temperatures.
Teacher of the Atmospheric Sciences Department, Jeffrey Frame, says that this winter is expected to have warmer than average temperatures, although he also believes that people should always be aware of the dangers of driving conditions in the winter.
When it's really bad, try to stay off the roads, and if it's icy, obviously with an ice storm or something like that, certainly it only takes a little bit of that stuff to make things real slick and real hazardous.
Sanchez also says that it's better to do your preparations now rather than waiting till later.
So I definitely think that getting all these preparations done is a smart decision. That way you're better prepared for the winter, and so by winterizing your house and your car, you're able to save money instead of actually buying the supplies like when winter is here, because usually prices go up.
In Urbana, this is Will Bro, UI7 Newsbreak.
And now that it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, I gotta say first look into how people are going to be preparing their pets for this winter season. It's no secret that the winter season is upon us. Once those temperatures get cold enough for it to snow, it's time to think about your furry friends, because they get cold too. Though it varies based on the dog, your dog's paws are very sensitive. The cold sidewalks can quickly cause frostbite once the temperature gets below freezing. You don't want to keep your pets outside for long periods of time.
When it's below freezing, I know their feet are a lot more sensitive after a certain point. All the animals I've had tend to start sitting down after a little while, so I try not to take them out for too long in the winter. And I make sure if it's snowy out that I dry off their feet whenever I get back inside.
And once it starts getting cold in the winter, you may want to invest in a little coat for your pups. It's easy to decide whether or not it's safe to take your animals outside.
If they start to shiver, if they're starting to pick up their feet, and if they just want to come back in, just listen to them. Make sure you're just in tune with your dog will be the biggest thing.
Another area you might not think about is salt. This can be harmful and cause your pets extreme pain if they walk on it. It's also dangerous for animals to ingest normal rock salt.
Surgery.
If you have pets, consider buying specially made rock salt that is safer for your animals if they do lick it off their paws. In the end, keeping our pets safe and warm is what being a pet owner is all about.
It's pretty fantastic. I think anyone that has pets can tell you that. You know, they love unconditionally, so that's really good.
That's not it. Lay down.
And you should also be on the lookout in case you have any antifreeze leaking from your car, because it's highly toxic to your animals if they lick it up.
That's a good tip.
And coming up, we get a first look at the Diwali festival that took place in Champaign last week.
Then we have a look into some cultural activities that are available for kids in the Champaign area. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But I get it, you're busy, and busy people can't have prediabetes. I read that wrong. They can, okay? Just go to the site.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?"
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Happy Thanksgiving! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for break. Rebecca, what are you most thankful for this season?
I am most thankful to have as wonderful of a co-anchor as you.
Best friends. I love that so much. I'm so thankful for GMI and all of the awesome things that we have planned this week. So guys, tune in on Friday to find out more about what we're thankful for this season.
So excited!
Yay!
Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
Truth is, I'm impressed. I haven't been asked such intelligent questions in a long time. Nice.
Thank you.
You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
Well, these winter days are getting shorter and shorter. Last Saturday night was filled with light at the Hindu temple in Champaign. Newsbreak's Ariel Majewski tells us about the fifth day of the Diwali festival, which gathered more than 300 devotees brightening up the temple with prayers, candles, and fireworks.
It's the 2075 Hindu New Year, and worshippers let it be heard. Based on the Hindu epic for Diwali, the hero Rama came out of exile and a demon king was defeated, so people came ready to celebrate good conquering evil. Members arrived at different times and sang any prayer or puja as they felt compelled. For one of the devotees, it was an unexpected surprise to be chosen.
The Panditji, who is the priest, gave me the microphone and said, "Sing a song." And I had no idea what I will do here. But anyway, I think I passed the exam.
Celebrants offered a Govardhan Puja, a ritual that involves a minimum of 56 food dishes to the god Krishna, as well as rose petals symbolizing love. The vice president of the Hindu temple says that there was a lot of preparation for creating a feast this large.
There was all kinds of thoughts. How many people will we have enough offerings to God? I want to offer as much as I can, and I cannot do it alone. It's with the help of all the community.
One of the festivities here is celebrating light over darkness, and so there are sparklers here to represent that light.
The temple extended the celebration during the weekend so more families could participate. While fireworks were a huge hit for families, Basu couldn't stop dancing in the temple. Since leaving her native country 48 years ago, this festival has spurred memories of her youth.
To be honest with you, when I came here tonight, especially right now, I'm feeling like I'm in my own home country and doing the same thing and dividing my joy with everybody I see here.
And Basu has plenty of joy to share. In Champaign, Ariel Majeski, UI7 Newsbreak.
Many college students would like to learn a second language, and so do little kids, as Newsbreak's Yuhan Ma reports. Some kids were provided an opportunity to learn languages and experience cultural diversity at Spanish Storytime.
Songs, traditional crafts, and stories read in English and Spanish. Kids with families are having a fun time while learning a second language. Kelly Dalzo is a mother of two, and she is always trying to find ways for her kids to learn different languages.
My daughter has Spanish at her daycare, so it's fun to get Spanish language or any other foreign language at an activity like this.
During today's Spanish story time, kids got to listen to the story of Mama and Papa Have a Store, which talks about a Chinese family immigrating to Guatemala City and starting their new life there. Through this kind of stories, kids get to experience different cultures and learn different languages firsthand. Alejandro Cesfarot, the event organizer, thinks that it is never too early for kids to experience diverse cultures. That is why she wants to bring Spanish story time to more and more kids and families.
Mama's already in the kitchen.
It's very, very important in the child to be exposed to different cultures, different people, different languages, to learn different languages, especially to know about.
The story with mixed cultural backgrounds was a new experience for kids, but also gained Dalzo herself some insights of cultural diversity.
I wasn't expecting to hear that aspect of the story today, so it was cool that we got some Spanish and Chinese culture, so it was cool.
Besides Spanish story time, Dalzo is expecting to see more language and culture-related activities to spend time together with her kids. In Urbana, I'm Yuhan Ma, UI7 Newsbreak.
Of fish in class.
As bright colors and the smell of chorizo, carne asada, and warm tortillas filled the room, students gathered Saturday to paint and raise money for the Central American migrants working their way to the U.S. The Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano de Aztlán of UIUC hosted a fundraising event called Art en Antojos to raise money to donate to the organizations helping the caravan of Central American migrants currently working their way here through Mexico. The organization provided students with blank canvases and plenty of colors to choose from. And before long, everyone in the room got in line to grab some tacos, rice and beans, and horchata before it was all gone.
And the City of Champaign Public Works decided to use pizza as motivation to help the environment. For a group of kids and adults, they were rewarded for helping out at the second annual America Recycles Day at the Boneyard Creek. In Champaign last Saturday, the Public Works Department set up the second annual cleanup of the Boneyard Creek. The cleanup is part of the nationwide America Recycles Day. Leslie Heath, the city engineering tech, explains that this event fulfills an important EPA MS4 permit requirement. Lastly, as the trash and recyclables were collected and taken away, the pizza was presented as a reward for the volunteers' hard work.
So Taylor, are you ready for Thanksgiving break? I know I am.
I am definitely prepared to start eating. So
I'm just ready for a break in classes. I mean,
my goodness.
I've been worn out so much over this last week.
I feel like
and it'll be nice to see the family again.
Yeah, it's definitely been a rough week. So that final push from all the professors saying, oh, by the way, you have all this to worry about now, and then the 2 weeks after break are just jam-packed. So.
Oh, always. It's like they all got together and decided to give us a bunch of extra work, right?
Absolutely.
All right, on to our weekend weather update. So tomorrow we will have a partly cloudy day with a high of 41 degrees and a low of 28. On Saturday for the last home football game, it will be cloudy with a high of 40 and a low of 30 degrees. Sunday, it will be mostly cloudy with a bit of snow and a high of 38 degrees, a low of 29. For more of our stories, please follow us on Facebook.
And make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notifications when we're live. And that's all we have for this week's edition of UI7 Newsbreak. Our next show will be a 30-minute show on December 11th, so make sure you tune in. I'm Taylor Mattingly.
And I'm Jacob Diaz. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.